Hello and welcome to another video here at Hobbies and Happiness. My name is Dan and today we are going over the latest DC deck building game Kickstarter. Alright, I'm a little bit late to the game recording this, but that's okay. I wanted to make sure I recorded this and got my thoughts out to let you guys all know what I think of the latest DC deck building game Kickstarter. So, the TLDR, this looks really cool. I've already got it backed and I'm excited. So we've got some new mechanics and let's just dive in. But before we do that, don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications if you like these kinds of videos and you want to see more content from Hobbies and Happiness. Again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on bell notifications so you can be notified whenever we release a new video on the channel. All right, so a couple of weeks ago, Cryptozoic announced and launched, well, they announced this product quite a few months ago, I believe. All right, and I was signed up to get notified when this was released so I could take a look at it. And guys, we've got more DC deck building game content, which in all honesty, after last year's Kickstarter, I wasn't really sure what else was coming down the pipeline for this game, and I'm excited. So let's just dive in and kind of see what it is all about. So already, as of recording this video, there's 3 days left. Over 3,000 backers already. So if you haven't backed this yet, at least sign up and just sign up for the pledge manager. All right, do yourself a favor. If you like deck building games, we've got a lot of DC deck building game content on the channel. I'll be sure to link some of that stuff here and down in the description below if you want to check out our DC deck building game content. But yeah, do yourself a favor, go check it out, sign up, turn on that pledge manager so you can at least decide if you'll give yourself more time to decide if you want to pick this up. All right, so let's take a look. So yeah, it is Justice League Dark. In all honesty, this is I think this is one of the more popular storylines in DC Comics. I'm a big fan. I like Constantine. I love all of the dark characters. John Constantine is actually one of my favorites. John Constantine as well as Zatanna. So those are two of my favorites. They've also got Dr. Fate in this set as well. But you know, let's kind of take a look as far as everything that we've got going in this set. So it's Justice League Dark. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and read this. As in 2022, DC deck building game fans came together to celebrate the series in a big way, and they collected, I believe it was like over $1 million on that last Kickstarter. So it was pretty successful. So this year they're going dark. Their new big box game is based on Justice League Dark comics and promises to be the most magical title in the series yet. But that's not where the magic ends. They're also doing another rival set. This time it's going to be Shazam versus Black Adam. And they also have in this Kickstarter, they're doing 2 DC deck building game Rebirth expansions, which I know people have been asking for, as well as some more crossover packs and a Legion of Doom expansion. So there's a lot here. So here's the Justice League Dark box. They're doing 2 boxes. Art looks really cool. I mean, and it is what it is, right? But here is the next rival set. They're doing Shazam versus Black Adam. I mean, if you like rivals, it's just more of the same, I think. I don't think they're really doing anything different in that one. Legion of Doom expansion. This is really interesting. They've got like some of the old school TV art. It looks really, really cool. They've got a bunch of different playmats in here as well, which, I mean, I'm never going to say no to more playmats, you know? And I don't think many card game players are going to say no to more playmats unless you just don't like them. So this just talks about they go into a little blurb about each one. If you want, head over to the Kickstarter. You can read it yourself. I'm not going to read every single one here. But they are also, this is what was interesting, another crossover pack. So the last crossover pack was Batman Ninja. Unfortunately, you can't pick up Batman Ninja in this Kickstarter. I know for those of you who don't have it, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to pick that up, unfortunately. But they are doing the next crossover pack is Flashpoint. So you can add this crossover pack based on the classic Flashpoint comic book series to any DC deck building game base game, that's kind of how all the crossover packs work. You can play. So if you've never read the Flashpoint comics, it's very interesting. I think the most recent Flash movie kind of did something like this. I've heard it wasn't a good movie. I haven't seen it. It doesn't look very good. But you know, that's it. if you've seen it and you like it, cool. Let me know what you think. If you thought it was good, let me know down in the comments down below. But in the Flashpoint series, there's a war between the Atlanteans and the Amazons. You can energize your game with the overpowered alternate timeline up cards, which is interesting. They show a couple, and we'll look at those in a second. And again, just more artwork, sure. And then here they talk about the Rebirth expansions. These are one-shot packs. And I think this is the first time they're doing really any content for the Rebirth game. So check that out as well. There's two. One-shot pack 1 is Cry for Justice featuring Green Arrow and Black Canary, and the one-shot pack 2 is called Time Heist featuring Vixen and the Atom. Each pack includes standees, oversized character cards, lots of cards, and a brand new scenario. So if you haven't played Rebirth, it's the DC deck building game, but is more co-op, and there's movement. There's movement on the board as well. So it's quite a bit different than other DC deck building games, but it's very, very interesting. And I know it's been a pretty popular title as well, so you're able to pick up these one-shot packs in as well. This is what's interesting, this Legion of Doom expansion pack. I mean, so banded together from remote galaxies are 13 of the most sinister supervillains of all time, the Legion of Doom. But with this artwork, it just looks funny. It says this expansion pack adds 13 Legion of Doom supervillains based on the classic Challenge of the Super Friends TV series to any DC deck building game base set, and comes inside a collectible box with foil cover. Honestly, I'll probably throw the box away in all honesty. There are people who like to keep boxes. For the most part, I'm not really one of them. And this next one, we have a crossover Crisis pack. This is really interesting. So this expansion features Crisis versions of the JSA superheroes and Impossible Mode versions of their supervillains, as well as brand new Crisis cards. So if you've never played the Crisis mode, it's a lot of fun. You can play it solo. It is a long game mode. Yeah, we've done it on the channel. It takes a very long time, but it's a lot of fun. And this pack, they're giving you cards specifically for Crisis mode. So it looks really, really cool. The Golden Age Crisis mode included in this pack offers the same challenging cooperative experience of previous Crisis expansion with a shorter playtime. You know how I just said it was really long? Well, we'll see how much shorter this is going to make Crisis mode. This next one people have been asking for a lot. It is the crossover, not the crossover collection, but the Crisis collection. So in this, they are packaging together Crisis 3 and 4. So if you don't have those, you'll be able to pick them up together. And then they are bundling 3 crossover collections. You're getting Justice Society of America, which is crossover pack 1, 2, and 3. 2 is Green Arrow, 3 is Legion of Superheroes. Now with Green Arrow, that crossover collection was based on the Arrow TV show. So it's the same. In this pack, it's going to be the same crossover collection, but they're changing out the artwork. So I know there were a lot of people, myself included, I did watch like the first couple seasons of Arrow. I wasn't the biggest, I'm not a big fan of stills, like TV stills, movie stills, plastered on a card. That's just not my style. I don't really like it. It takes me out of the game for whatever reason. So with this one, they're replacing all that artwork, which I think is cool. So if you're into that, you can pick that up as well. And so now they talk about how to play the deck building game, DC deck building game, but the dark version. So here we go. This is where you can look at some of the new stuff. Now, the biggest thing here is sealing cards. So you can seal cards. When you seal a card, it goes into your score pile. These cards are not part of your deck, but count toward your score at the end of the game. Each player has a seal token they put on their score pile to distinguish it from their discard pile. So they give a couple of examples here. The first is Kent Nelson. Looks like he's a 7-cost hero. Says play a card from the lineup, then seal it. So that's an interesting effect. So it says immediately play a card from the lineup and seal it away in your score pile. I mean, that's going to have its pluses and its minuses, right? Overall, I do think sealing is going to be a pretty powerful mechanic. And then this next one, it says some cards have additional bonuses when they are sealed, like this Ancient Tomes, a 2-cost equipment. It says +1 power, but it also says after you seal this card from any zone, gain the top card of the main deck. So that is also a pretty powerful effect. Again, you're not paying anything additional to buy a card, essentially. So I mean, cheating of cost, that's just never a powerful effect. Absolutely not. Never. Now, they've got new weakness cards as well. And it says here, new weakness cards are worth an additional -1 victory point at the end of the game, but they have a built-in way to get rid of them if you're willing to pay the cost. So normally, in a lot of these games, if you wanted to get rid of a weakness, you had to destroy it through another card effect. This, it looks like, that is stapled onto the card. So on the weakness, it says return this card to its stack if it's destroyed. But then it also says discard 2 cards. Return this card to its stack. Its stack meaning the weakness stack, which is on the game board. So I like that, right? Always one of the sticklers, right, about weaknesses, normally when playing these games, is I don't have any way to get rid of it. Well, now you're always going to have access to a way to get rid of it. Like if you don't have any destroy cards in your deck, this gives you that out. I mean, yes, it's at the cost of discarding 2 other cards, but hey, you know what? They can't all be winners, right? So, but I do like that effect. Now, this next thing is very cool. Another new keyword says new transform. It says cards with this keyword have the ability to transform into another card. So you've got the Scarab Necklace. It's a 6-cost equipment. It says draw a card. You may seal a card from your hand or discard pile. So again, now we're bringing into seal, the seal mechanic again. But then it says transform. If you control 5 or more cards, including this one, with different types, you may seal this card. If you do, you gain Black Adam Corrupted. And so Black Adam Corrupted, 8-cost villain, transform, says you may put any number of cards with a cost of 5 or less and different types from your discard pile into your hand. If you choose not to, +3 power. So I like that ability of, okay, it's basically taking seal and like leveling it up. Now, about seal, I really like that mechanic, right? Because one of the things that you typically don't want to do a lot is you don't want to destroy powerful cards, right? Number one, you want to keep that effect in your deck, but then also if you destroy it now, you don't have access to those victory points, right? The main win condition of the game. This way, with seal, right, you're still getting those victory points, right? But now you are gaining the benefit of deck thinning without the downside of losing out on points. So I really like this seal keyword, and then transform again just levels it up. So it says when you play Scarab Necklace, you draw a card and you may seal a card. Already good effects, right? And then it says if you've already played a hero, villain, superpower, and starter this turn, you meet the requirement to unlock the Scarab Necklace, freeing the prisoner inside. The Scarab Necklace goes to your score pile, and Black Adam now provides his might to your team. So this is insanely cool, right? Because again, we're basically gaining a new card for free. We're taking out the Scarab Necklace. So now that card that was already in the deck, I know this is like not even for the Kickstarter. I just think I'm like analyzing a card here, but that's okay. All right. You're here for it, right? Right. So the original card was just draw a card, and then now you can seal a card from your hand. Okay. It is now upgraded to say you may put any number of cards with cost 5 or less and different types from your discard pile into your hand. Or if you don't want to do that, you just get 3 power. So an upgraded, leveled up effect. I really, really like it. And then they talk about, I'm not really gonna go into the rivals. This is Black Adam and Shazam, like how we did just talk about a Black Adam card. But it doesn't look like there's really much things new here. It's just another rival set, right? Which again, like, I like that because now they're just expanding the characters that are available to you if you enjoy playing rivals, or the confrontations box as well. This goes into how to play the rivals and confrontation sets. And then here's Legion of Doom. You can look at what these cards are. Brainiac, Sinestro, Lex Luthor, Black Manta, Giganta, Riddler, Bizarro, Scarecrow, Gorilla Grodd, Captain Cold, Cheetah, Solomon Grundy, and Toyman. I almost did that in one breath. Couldn't quite do it. So in this box, you get 13 supervillain cards. You get a rules card, a box, randomize, and a divider. All it is just really these supervillain cards. So you can add them into any other set for just for some variability into your DC deck building games. Okay. talking about the one-shots, which again I think is really cool. This is a set that's really needed some more content for a while, so they've got that. Talk about how it works. Crossover Crisis, and this one, this is really interesting, right? Because this is a box specifically for Crisis Mode, which we haven't seen yet. I mean, this is Crossover Crisis 1. So in this box, this set, you get 7 oversized characters, 8 Impossible Mode supervillains, 1 Crisis supervillain, 4 Crisis cards, and then a Golden Age Crisis card, and not much else new. So I do want to read this, though. It says, this expansion offers new oversized JSA characters, Impossible Mode supervillains, and Crisis cards. The Impossible Mode supervillains provide new enemies to face in both the competitive or cooperative or co-op game modes. The characters can be used to fight the even greater challenges created by the Crisis cards in the new Golden Age Crisis mode. In the Golden Age Crisis, additional challenges become active as more supervillains are defeated. Interesting. So my assumption is that Golden Age Crisis, there's like multiple different effects that will be active pending certain conditions is my guess, because normally with those crisis modes, there's one thing that's happening during the turn, and then in order to beat the crisis you have to perform X effect or Y effect, right? Golden Age Crisis, my guess is it's going to be just added on top. There's going to be more effects like that. I think this is neat because again, like if you play Crisis, there's only certain cards, and it's like if you've played all of them, you kind of know what to do. So more content for Crisis is definitely not a bad thing. And then the next crossover pack, talking about Flashpoint. Now, Flashpoint, this is very, very interesting. Okay, because right here, Flashpoint introduces a 3-card timeline up featuring super powerful cards. Unlike main deck cards, these time-twisted cards have no victory points, and some of the strongest even have negative victory points. It says you'll do well to gain these lopsided timeline up cards to defeat the new stack of reimagined, higher-cost supervillains. These supervillains are too powerful to live in your deck, so they've adopted the reward mechanic from Justice League Dark. Okay, so it looks like some of these supervillains you're not going to be able to put directly into your deck. You will just have this reward function where once you defeat it, you get the listed reward. Now, look at these timeline up cards. What it looks like is these are going to be in a separate stack. These 3 that they show here have 0 victory points. Flashpoint Kid Flash says it's a 7-cost hero, says draw 3 cards, and then says defense. You may discard this card to avoid an attack. If you do, draw 4 cards. I mean, that's pretty crazy. The Power of Shazam, timeline up, says ongoing when you play another timeline up card, plus a power and draw card. That's also very good. And then says Energy Resistance, 5 cost equipment, ongoing discard, and draw 2 cards. Defense, you may put this card from your hand into play to avoid an attack. Oh my goodness. From your hand into play. Oh, good. So you're not losing. Wow. These are some really, really powerful cards. So this is really interesting, this timeline up mechanic. So again, I think this is going to be separate from the lineup in front of you. I believe these are going to be always up. I'm not totally sure how it's going to work, but very, very interesting. Very interesting. I'm really interested to see how that's going to work. So very, very cool. And that's pretty much everything in this Kickstarter. So again, that's going to be it for this video. I highly recommend go over to Kickstarter, check out the link, follow the link, check out the campaign, see if this is going to be something you're interested in. But again, if you're a DC deck building game fan, I really think you should definitely check it out, because again, with these new mechanics that are in Justice League Dark and then the Flashpoint set, it looks like it's going to be worth it. So there's quite a few different tiers, and let's take a look at those tiers real quick. $75 go dark. You can get your choice of which box you want of Justice League Dark, and then you also get the Rivals set. The next tier is Expanded Universe. Again, what we just went over, but also the Flashpoint crossover pack, as well as one of 2 different playmats. The next is 165. Take Your Shot. Everything from the previous tier, plus Crossover Crisis Pack 1, and then the Rebirth one-shot packs. The $200 Magical tier, everything that we just went over, in addition to the Legion of Doom expansion pack, and then all game content. They just added this tier, I believe, with literally everything. So everything that we just talked about, including a copy of Rebirth, the Crisis Collection 2, the crossover collection 2, the Gen Con 2023 promo pack, and the Gen Con 2022 promo card, and then the Collection 1 promo pack. So there's a lot of different tiers. Definitely check it out. Get in on whatever tier you're going to be wanting to get in on, but there's a lot of different options for DC deck building game players. So that's going to be it for this video, but let me know what you guys think. I'm very interested to get your guys' thoughts. You heard me rambling my thoughts, but this is a Kickstarter I'm already signed up for. I'm already picked up. Unfortunately, no, I did not get the number one person to sign up for it, the backer number, you know, because I was busy. I'm sorry. That's too bad. I was trying to do that. I wanted to do it, but I was just busy when it went live, unfortunately. So it is what it is. So again, if you like this type of content, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you can be notified when we release more content like this in the future. So again, let me know what you guys think down below. Are you going to pick this up, or is this one that you're just going to pass on? Let us know down below. So that's it for this video. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and we'll catch you in the next video. See you, everybody.